Here's a question for you, Stephanie. What are 3 key reasons you are voting for your candidate of choice?
3 reasons. Wow. Well, I've just given a bunch of them, but I got to say, I think primarily it goes to judgment. And there have been...
Thank you for that small smattering. Dennis, I think you packed this audience with your fans.
You know, I think honestly it goes to judgment, and I think Iraq is the biggest foreign policy blunder in our history, and Barack Obama... Seriously, how anyone can think things are going well with what a Nobel-winning economist calls a $3 trillion war ultimately, this economic collapse, which will result in a $1 trillion a year deficit probably, and think that this president has done a good job, or the guy that's voted with him 90% of the time is a good choice for America right now, I just fundamentally disagree with. So... Again, I guess it's what I cited earlier also, Fritz. It's just, there are bipartisan groups that have looked at health care, that have looked at the economy, that have looked at veterans issues, that veterans are giving 6-1 to Barack Obama instead of John McCain. So, and quite honestly, this McCain campaign is not even dirty politics. It is gutter politics at this point.
KTLK AM 1150.
These are lynch mobs that we're hearing. I don't know if you saw the McCain and the Palin rallies in the last couple of days where someone yelled terrorist when McCain said Obama's name, when someone yelled kill him when Palin said his name. This has gone beyond the pale, whatever they are saying about Barack Obama.
Dennis?
Well, if the issue is obscene talk and sentiments, I think that if we really had to measure which side used them more, I think our side would be defeated greatly. There's no question. I mean, there's a whole evening devoted by a one-woman show in Washington, D.C., Sandra Bernhard, where all she does is speak about, well, it's interesting that someone would cheer her, perhaps the idea of saying that if she walked into a black part of any city, she would be gang-raped, Sarah Palin.
Please.
This is part of her routine.
Hold
By
it
the
down,
way, let me
folks.
just say about the yelling, if you yell, you leave, and if you don't leave, we will leave. Okay? So just want you to know that is the rule. It's, one day the yeller will earn the right to stand here, and then you can yell all you like. Until then, Stephanie and I have earned that right. Thank you very much, whichever side you're on. Now,
I agree with Dennis in being anti-yelling.
As regards why John McCain, well, I'll give you one thing that says a lot to me. I always say that you can tell the moral character of a person by whether they're willing to take on their own side. The day that Barack Obama takes on his own side, like the teachers' unions, or the unions generally, or the trial lawyers, that will be a great day. Until then, we have a history of John McCain taking on his own side, and no history whatsoever of Barack Obama taking on his own side.
Time's up, Dennis.
Now, you see, it's a fascinating thing. Either what I said is true or not true. It's not a booable or a plausible line. It's either true or false, a doctrine that may be somewhat alien to some, but I think is a rather significant one. That is how John McCain has earned his reputation. So much so that a lot of Republicans, including myself, did not vote for him. I voted for Romney, as it happens, and I wanted Giuliani. I'm perfectly open with it. He was my third choice. Okay. Many Republicans did not want him because he does, in fact, leave the Republican tent so often.
Dennis,
but we have
Stephanie
no such example with Barack Obama.
Dennis, all due respect. First of all, Barack Obama does not have to stand up to his party because they're right on just about every issue. Number two, every single issue that John McCain has ever stood up to his party on, he has flip-flopped on.
KTLK AM 1150.
Including, what does he call it now, that crazy Kennedy immigration bill? and that crazy Feingold campaign finance. Even bills that he has his name on, he has flip-flopped on. The man has no core values except being president.
Okay, guys, we're going to move on to the next question. We have so many, and every one of the audience has filled out a card, so even though we'd like to press these issues more, we better not. This is to Dennis now. And again, these are from the audience and not your moderator. Why are Republicans so mean-spirited? Why is McCain-Palin going so negative?
The notion that Republicans are mean-spirited is one that many liberals hold. And the reason that many liberals hold it is because rather than take us on our ideas, they simply dismiss our humanity. And I will give you so many examples that I could spend literally the rest of the evening. There are 6 or 7 words that the left uses to dismiss those with whom they differ. Xenophobic, sexist, homophobic, bigoted, intolerant, racist, and Islamophobic. And I will show you, I will give you an example. If you're against affirmative action based on race, you're a racist. If you're against the government legislating how much people in different professions should earn based on, well, that's a woman, that's a man, they must have equal pay, then you're a sexist. If you think that we should in fact guard our borders because every society has a right to have a society in which its citizens are allowed to determine how many people come in, and frankly, I would love a large immigration, just not an illegal one, then you are xenophobic, and you go down the list like that. If you think that marriage should be between a man and a woman, then you are homophobic. If you use the term Islamic fascism, then you are Islamophobic. I was with the Prime Minister of Australia, the former Prime Minister John Howard, last week. 3 times in a talk he gave, he used the word Islamic fascism. And I said to him, you know, we can't use that in America. He said, why can't you use that? I don't understand. He said, there is a form of fascism within Islam today. Why can't you use it? I said, because you'll be called Islamophobic. What the left has done has chilled the ability to take these seriously. So what has happened is, instead of differing with us, you just call us one of these 7 names, and that suffices as an intellectual argument for you. That is the reason you think we are mean-spirited.
Stephanie, 1 minute.
Dennis, let me start by saying you are none of those names, but you're a lot of other names I call you privately. I like him too much to debate him. It's awful. Wow, that could take the rest of the night. Why are Republicans so mean-spirited? You know, it's what I was saying about the tenor of these rallies this week. When you have the candidates themselves saying the things they're saying on stage, is it any wonder that you've got the crowd screaming terrorist and screaming kill him? And the Washington Post reporting today that the Sarah Palin supporters are screaming racial epithets at reporters, you know, telling a black reporter to sit down, boy. This is getting ugly. And, you know, look what's going on out here with Prop 8. This is the same play the Republicans, in my opinion, run every time. If you don't have a job, it's the brown people. If there's something wrong with your marriage, it's the gay people.
KTLK AM 1150.
I frankly think people are sick of it. They're sick of the fear-mongering and the dividing. And I'm not saying people like Dennis engage in it, but you know very well a lot of people on the right do. You know?
Okay, Steph. Dennis, 1 minute.
It's gotten to be like Lord of the Flies. Let's kill the fat kid with a rock. That's the way
Dennis,
a lot of the people on the right have gone.
1 minute.
Yeah, well, I have no doubt that there are assholes on the right.
Hey, we're on the radio, mister.
And so citing one twit who yells something like that on the assumption that that's a true story, it's disgusting. 99% of conservatives think that calling a black man a boy is despicable, as I do. I would, frankly, if I saw a man do it, I would punch him. I would risk going to prison because there are times where words, I do believe, inspire violence. I would punch a human who ever said that to a black man. I think, as I said, 99% of us feel that way. 99.9 to be even more precise. But I would just ask you this. Where is the commensurate bumper sticker to Buck Fush? Why are there no hate-filled obscenities
That's
directed?
funny.
How come there was no Cluck Finton? Did anybody ever see a Cluck Finton?
You know, Dennis, all I'm saying